So we're going to go ahead and do that together. All right, says 5 divided by 2. So somebody tell me, what do I do? How do I start? What do I write? All right, Owen, what do I do first?
You put, you do 1, 2, and number 1, 2, until I get 5.
Okay, so I got to do something else before I do anything else. I got to circle something. What do I got to circle first? Then I got to do what you said. What do I circle first? Go ahead, Owen.
You circle 1.
Yep, I circle my 2 because I meant, Logan, you got to turn your sheet so that you're facing me, buddy. Like, move your whole, yeah, just move your body. There we go. Thank you. So, Owen's right. First thing you do is circle your magic number. Remember, when we check it, it turns into our magic number anyway, so we're just going to circle it. So we know it also tells us, it also tells us what we, how many groups we break our number into, right? Or how many are in each group? How many are in each group? Everybody, show me in your hands. 2. Good job. So like Owen said, I do 1, 2, 1, 2, and then I have my 1 left over, right? Then I circle my groups. How many groups of 2 do I have? 2, right? So 5 divided by 2 equals 2 with a remainder of 1. Everybody good there? Okay, so my quotient is 2. My remainder is 1. And then do you remember what you do with your check? What do you do, Garrett?
You add your quotient with your divisor.
I multiply my quotient and my divisor, which they wrote for us, right? 2 times 2 is 4. And then what do? Mason? Plus the remainder of 1. And I get 5, right? Check. Check. All right. You ready to learn this way?
Yeah.
Okay. Long division takes a lot of practice, okay? It's hard to remember the steps. You are not going to be experts at it today, and that's okay. All right, but tomorrow, we're going to be kicking butt at it. So first thing I'm going to do is tell you the steps, and you're going to write them as I write them. All right, so up here where it says name, you're going to write, we're going to divide. Do what I do. Up where I did it. After we divide, we multiply, which all this sounds a little silly right now, but I promise once we start doing it, you'll get it, okay? Divide, multiply, then we subtract. Okay, then we bring things down. And then we do it all again, which is a big arrow going back, because you're going all the way back to division, starting all over again. Okay. Okay. Here we go. I'm feeling a little anxious. All right. So we start with division, right? That's what it says up top. We start with division. So we're going to take our 5 and we're going to say 5 divided by 2. So remember what we're doing with division is figuring out how many groups of 2 we can make without going over, right? So you can skip count to figure that out. You can draw dots, however you got to do it. But the point of long division is to use numbers, less arrays and more numbers, okay? So if I say 5 divided by 2, I got to figure out how many groups of 2 I can make without going over 5. Everybody good with that? So to do that, I usually skip count. Can you skip count with me? Okay, go ahead, skip count by 2s. 2, 4, can we do 6? No, because it's bigger than 5. So how many groups of 2 can I make? 2. How many's in each group? 2. So I got to multiply to figure out how many of my 5 I used, right? Because that's our next step anyways. What's 2 times 2? 4. I write that down here. Okay, and then my next step is to subtract. So I'm going to subtract. And I get 1 left over. Okay, 1 is smaller than 2, so I'm done. I can't make a group of 2 if I only have 1, right? So I mean to come up here and I write my remainder up there. So basically what you just did in your head or with your finger skip counting is exactly what we've been doing with our dots. We just did it without our dots, without our array. Okay? Some of you are going to be like, whew, I love it. Some of you are going to be like, whoa. We'll get through it either way. Okay? Okay. Let's move down to the next one. All right, this gets tricky because why wouldn't they? All right, we're starting in the tens place, okay? How many tens do I have? How many tens do I have, Jasmine? 5. I got to do them in groups of what? 2. Circle that magic number. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Circle your groups of 2. How many groups of 2 do you have? 2. Good. Stop there for a second. We're going to go over here so I can show you what we're actually doing on here. We ready? All right. When we're over here, okay, our magic number is still 2. Underline your 5. Because when we do division, we try to look at the first number first, and we do one number at a time if we can. Okay? So you got to say to yourself, 5 divided by 2, which means how many groups of 2 can I make with the number 5? How many groups of 2 can I make with the number 5? 2. Write it. Good. I like it. How'd you figure that out in your head? What were you thinking? What were you thinking? Garrett, what were you thinking?
I was perfectly in the problem.
Oh, all right. Well, that's smart, I guess. Izzy, what were you thinking?
I was thinking I'll count it by 2.
Love it. Izzy was skip counting. Love it. All right, so you just did division, right? We just figured that out. What's next? What's my next step? After I divide, everybody? Multiply. If you don't know, you should look right up at the top of your paper. It tells you. Okay, after I divide, I multiply. What's 2 times 2? 4. What do I do after I multiply? Subtract. What's 5 minus 4? 1. It's exactly like the other problem. That's true. Except I have a 4th step. This 4th step right here says bring down. Look up here. I have another number. So I have to bring that number down. And then you're going to stop there. Everybody there? Okay. So what we just did is we're taking this disc, take that disc, bring it over here. I have to keep dividing until I can't divide anymore. I can't have 110 sitting there, right? So I'm going to take that 10 and make it 10 ones into groups of 2, though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Can't leave a 10 hanging there, right? We can have a remainder if it's in the ones place, but you can't have a remainder in the tens place because 10 is bigger than 2, so you got to keep making groups. Okay? So I did my 10 discs in groups of 2. Now I'm going to circle my groups. What's up?
Why is the bigger number in the ones place and the smaller number in the tens place?
What do you mean? It's not, because this is 10, 20, 30, 40, right? Because it's 4 discs, but they're worth 10 each, so it's 40.
Okay.
Are we all set with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many groups of 2 do I have in the ones place? Everybody? 5, right? I have to go over here and figure out how many groups of 2 I can make out of this 10. When you bring down your number, you underline your new number. Because you're not just working with a 1 or a 0, you're working with both those numbers, which is the number 10. Can't tell you how many times people don't use both numbers. We good?
Yeah.
All right, so 10 divided by 2. How many groups of 2 can you make out of 10? Skip count until you get to 10 on your fingers, or close to it without going over. Go, skip count. Quick, in your head. And then show me how many fingers you get to. You got to get as close to 10 as you can without going over. Skip count in your head till you get to 10. And then I want to see fingers moving. I want to see hands in the air. Logan, skip count with me by choose. Oh, okay. Wasn't sure because you were sitting there doing nothing. So I wasn't sure if you understood my direction. All right, what'd you get, Logan? You have 5 because I took my 10 discs, broke it into groups of 2, gave me 5. So that goes right up here above that 0. Okay? I just did my division, right? I figured out how many groups of 2 I can make out of 10. What do I do next? After I divide, I look at the top of your paper. What do I do next? Everyone needs to put their heads up, get their bodies in gear. We're here to learn. We got 3 weeks left. And I'm going to be doing this every day from now until Christmas. So you better be ready to learn because laying on the desk and not participating is not going to be an option. Or else you can forget Christmas party. Logan, what do I do next? Everybody, what do I do next? Multiply. 5 times 2 is what? 10. Thank you, Sonny. What do I do after I multiply? Everybody. Subtract. What's 10 minus 10?
0.
A 0. No remainder. No numbers left to bring down. So this is my quotient, which is 25. What's my remainder? What is it? 0. Good job. 0. Good? How do I check it? Because I got to check it. I want to know I'm right. Addie, what do you think? You can call on somebody's help.
You multiply your quotient with your divisor.
I love it. Quotient, which is 25, times my divisor. So the quotient, which is the number on top of the house, with this number out here outside the house, divisor. Good? Okay, circle that magic number just like we did before. We start in that ones place. What's 2 times 5? Everybody? 10. Carry my 1. What's 2 times 2? Everybody? 4 plus 1 is? 5. Check. 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 We good? What's up?
Start with it and end with it.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. You want to start with or end with the same number you start with. If you don't, you have done something wrong, whether it's multiplication or division, but you got to go back and check from square one. Okay? If it doesn't check, don't erase right away. Go through and do each step again, and then see, because usually it's just one step that you've messed up, and you can quickly fix it. Okay? All right, you ready for the next one? Okay, the next one. Cross out that place value chart. We're going just standard algorithm. Let's see how this goes. Whew. Ripping Band-Aids right off here. Ripping Band-Aids off. All over the place. All right, you ready? All right, we start with the 7. Underline that 7. 7 divided by 3. So some of us have a hard time skip counting. I want to show you a trick. If you are not good at skip counting in your brain, right, or you get confused, I have stuff around the room to help you, right? What if you're not sitting in my room? What can you do at home to help you? Skip count by 3s. Place value chart. Love it, Carson. You could use that. What else could you do? Kane. What if we made our own skip counting chart? Like for each problem. Like today we're going to have to skip count by 3s, right? So what if instead of doing it in my head, I skip counted on my paper and I just said, like I went 3, 6, 9. Can you do that? Do that for me real quick. Everybody write it. Even if you're good at skip counting, I want you to write it so you have a strategy at home when you're away from me. Okay. Now I have to do 7 divided by 3. So I got to figure out how many groups of 3 I can make with 7 discs, right? That's what we're doing in our brain. Yes? What number am I going to circle, 6 or 9? What do you think, Skyra? Nope. I don't have 9 discs. How can I use 9 if I don't have 9 discs? 9 discs. What do you think? Mason? Yeah, right? I can use 6 discs to make groups, right? What's up, bud? Yeah, go ahead. What you need? You're good. Just making sure you're all right. I don't think they're sharpened. You might have to use a sharpener, which is fine. Don't worry about it. You can do it. All right. So when I'm skip counting, if I'm going to pick a number, I have to pick one that's smaller than my dividend or smaller than my number under the house. I can't take 9 discs and break them into groups if I only have 7 discs there. Okay? All right. So you guys said I can make 2 groups of 6 or 2 groups of 3. See how I did that? Whatever we circled, right? So we skip counted twice. 3, 6. Same thing as you do on your fingers. That was dividing. Now I got to multiply. 3 times 2, you already told me when you skip counted, is 6. All right. And then I do what next after I multiply? Everybody? Subtract. What's 7 minus 6? Everybody? 1. 1 is smaller than 3. I have nothing left to bring down. I'm all done. So that's a remainder 1. Okay, what? I know. I'm just letting everybody catch up. Thank you. Good call. Okay, you ready? Quotient, what is it? Say it if you know it.
2.
Remainder, what is it?
1.
How do I check it? Eddie, I'm coming back to you. What do I do to check it? Garrett told us.
2 times 1.
No. Quotient times what? No. Jasmine, help her out. Quotient times what?
Divider.
Yeah, the divisor, right? So quotient, the two things on the outside of the house. The quotient times your divisor, which is your magic number, right? We're dividing by that number. That's the big number in charge, right? 2 times 3 is what? 6 plus 1 is 7. Did you get the same thing? I hope so. You guys are a lot of fun today. Really into math. It's going to be a long December. Good? Okay, flip it. Go ahead and cross out that place value chart again. We're going standard algorithm hard today. And then guess what? Tomorrow and Wednesday too. Good?
Going 4 divided by 92. 92 divided by 4 is going to be this one.
I don't know. All right, you ready? We start with our first digit, right? As long as that digit's bigger than our divisor. So first, let's circle our magic number, which is still going to be your 3 on the outside. We're dividing by that number, which means we're skip counting by that number. Okay, so we got to figure out how many groups we can make out of 7 discs. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yes. Here, I need you to talk in your head, buddy. Okay? All right, here we go. You ready? Skip counting. By 3s, go. 3. Skip counting for me. 6. What's that?
9, 12, 18.
Not 18. 15. That 18. We shouldn't go any bigger than 18. Anybody know? Let's go. Good? Okay, here we go. 7 divided by 3. How many groups 3 can I make? Tell me what number I'm circling. What do you think is? How many discs am I going to use to make even groups of 3? Am I going to use 3 discs, 6 discs, 9 discs? How many? Yeah. So that means I'm going to have 1. Look up here for a second. That means I'm going to have 2 even groups of 3, right? Because we skip counted 3, 6. 2 even groups of 3. Put that 2 there. Good job, guys. After I divide, everybody, if you know it, multiply. I'm going to have to make something that has the steps like up there or something. Yeah. Good? After I multiply, I subtract. Good job. 7 minus 6 is 1. So now I look. 1 is smaller than 3, but I have to do what? What do you think, Carson? Love it. I got to bring that 5 down. Right? And then you need to underline. I'm going to let everybody catch up, and then we're going to go to the next part. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. What am I dividing by 3 here? What number is this now? Jasmine, what do you think? Huh? No, not just the 5. I underlined what number, Mason? 15. I do 15 divided by 3, right? Because we brought that 5 down and made one whole number. So now we're doing 15 divided by 3. So I already skip counted for you. So let's go over. We have the number 15 there, which means I can use all 15 discs. So circle that 15. How many groups does that mean of 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means it's 5 groups of 3. All right, let's verify. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Yep, 5 groups of 3. What's 5 times 3? Everybody? I just said it like 6 times, right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. What's 15 minus 15?
0.
0. Do we have a remainder?
No.
No. We certainly do not. So what's your quotient then? What's your quotient? What is it?
25.
25. Good job. My quotient is 25. What's my remainder?
0.
0. How do I do my check? What am I multiplying? What am I multiplying to do my check? Sonny?
25.
Not divided, times. Check 2 times. 25 divided by, I just said the same thing. 25 times 3, right? What are those called, though? What's the vocabulary words for those? What do you think? Well, Owen.
Multiplication.
Well, no, we already did multiplication. Viv.
25 is the quotient and 3 is the divisor.
You got it. 25 times 3. Quotient times divisor, right? Addie, what do we multiply?
Quotient and divisor.
You got it. Quotient times divisor, right? Circle that magic number. What's 3 times 5? Izzy, you need to sit up and pay attention. Everybody, 3 times 5? 15. Carry my 1. 3 times 2?
6.
Plus 1?
7.
Good job. Did we start with 75?
Yep.
Okay. Where are we at? How are we feeling?
Good.
Good? Okay. Cross out that place value chart for the next one. We're doing 9 divided by 4. I circled my 4 because it's my divisor. It's in charge, right? We got to make groups of 4. Okay? Let's skip count by 4s so we can see how many groups we're going to make. You ready? Okay, we're writing it down. What's the first thing I write down? Everybody. 4. What's next? 8. 12. Stop there, right? Because 12 is bigger than 9, so I'm definitely not going to use that. Okay? How many discs am I going to use out of 9? 4 or 8? What do you think, Skyra? 8, right? I got to get as close to 9 as I can. I want to use as many of those discs as possible, right? Good there? All right. How many groups of 4 is that? 2, right? 1, 2. So that 2 goes up there. There's your division. What do I do next? After I divide, I do what, Kane? I do. What's 2 times 4?
8.
Good job. What do I do after I multiply? I need someone different. Logan, what do I do after I multiply? You know what I love? I love seeing people flip back over to look at their steps. It's wonderful. I divide, multiply, and then do what? Yep, I divide, multiply, and I subtract. Right? What's 9 minus 8? Everybody, what's 9 minus 8? 1. 1 is smaller than 4, and there's nothing to bring down, which means I am done. You have to write your remainder up top. Okay? Quotient is 2. Remainder is good. How do I check it? What do I do? Eli, how do I check it?
2 times 4.
Yes. 2 times 4. What's 2 times 4? Everybody.
8.
8. What do I do next?
Add the
Add the remainder. Yeah, next time. Don't you know what I like it? What's 8 plus 1? 9. Check. Check. Good?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna do step 1. You're gonna do step 1 on your own, and then we'll do step 2 together. Okay? You ready?
Yep.
Underline your 9. Circle your 4. That's where you're starting. Okay? We're gonna skip count by 4s first. Let's skip count by 4s. You ready? Tell me what to write first. Go. Say it.
4.
Then what?
8. 12. 16.
Yeah, we won't go past that. If you're not sure, then you should write them all until you get to 9. Like, if you don't know for sure, then you write them all. You're never going to have a 10 up here. Like, you're never going to write the number 10 up there. All right, it's always going to be a single digit. So you're always going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 groups. You're never going to make 10 groups when you're dividing, like to start. Okay. All right. 9 divided by 4. Do it. No, I'm not helping you. Do it. Your hands down. Do it. 9 divided by 4. You're all sitting there looking all over, spinning in chairs, thinking, no, must be it. You're going to make a group of 16 with 9 discs. Remember, you only have 9 discs.
Is there a number 9 over here?
These are your things.
What's the closest number to 9?
Divided by 4. Perfect. And that's that. That's good. You're right. You're right. Okay. You're right. Also, don't change it. So after you do your subtraction, you should have one more step, right? And then you stop there. Stop there.
What group number is that? 1, 2, right? 2 goes up here. Okay, you're going to do your multiplying. 4 times 2. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, now you're going to do your subtraction. What is 9 minus 8? What's 9 minus 8?
So you're stopping after the first round.
You take away 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Step 1 left. So you're
Where do you skip down here? So what number is closest to 9 without
sorry,
going?
that was 9.
Okay. So how many groups is that?
Now bring your 2 down.
1, 3. Are you done? Go ahead and wait. I want to make sure they all get to the
Okay,
same spot.
now stop right there.
You would get. You gotta do this subtraction. Then you gotta finish the thing. Stop there.
Okay. So, I want to look down here. My number is 9 that I need to get to,
Do
right?
the subtraction. Do the
I
next
want to see
step.
which number is closest to 9. So what's
All right, if you have any tests, then you are correct. Like you are good. You are good to keep going. You have
2, right? So instead of 4 here, you're going to put a 2 there.
Mason and looking, you're good to keep going. That table, you are good to keep
Skylar,
going.
you can keep going, girlfriend.
Finish it up.
So now we go to multiply. So we're going to put 4 times 2.
Yeah.
8 under 9.
What do you bring down?
Now you're going to subtract. So 9 minus 8. Perfect. Bring your 2 down. Okay, and now you're going to repeat the steps again. So we're going to see how many steps are 4, finish the 12. So I'm going to look for a 12 down here. Do I have one? Okay, circle it. Now what group is it?
Start all over again.
Great,
We already
so 3 goes up
skipped
top,
on it,
right?
so you should be good to go.
Go to 2.
What's up, Eli?
Perfect, so now you're going back to
Everything's
multiplying.
perfect. What we do now?
So you do 4 times 3. What's our next thing?
Do it all over.
Very close. So this is okay. So that one is 12. And then you subtract those 2 and I will do the extra work to make it confusing, okay? Now fill out your quotient and your remainder. Go ahead and check your work. Okay, where are we? Is there anything more I was helping on? Okay, now 12 is our number. Do I have a 12 over here?
How we do is do it all over.
4, 8, 12. Over 12
Okay,
here?
so we're
Okay, circle your 12.
so 4.
What group number is it?
Okay, how many
3.
groups is that?
So 3 goes up top right here.
30, right?
Perfect. So now we're going to do 3 times 4. What's 4 times 3?
Where's my 3 go?
Oh, so 12 is under 12. You're going to subtract them.
All right, you ready? Some of you are good to go. Nobody's good to go yet, which is fine. We're struggling a little bit, which is fine. All right, it's expected. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to finish up the one you're on, and we're gonna go over it real quick. 9 divided by 4, right? So we had to make groups of 4. We got to skip count and got as close to 9 as we could without going over. That means 8. We're gonna use 8 of those 9 discs to make how many groups? 1, 2. Okay, that was my division. Now I multiply. 2 times 4 is 8. After I multiply, I subtract. 9 minus 8 is 1. Okay, 1 is smaller than 4, and I have a number to bring down. So I bring down my 2. I now have 12, right? Again, I got to try to make groups of 4, right? This is my magic number. It's always the numbers that's in charge. I got to make groups of 4. Well, how many groups of 4 can I make? 1, 2, 3, because there's a 12 there. Okay? Some of you did all of this part beautifully, but never wrote a single number on top of the house. I have no idea how you did it. All right? 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. Right? No remainder. Quotient is 23. Remainder is 0.